Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Fair Ladies of the Middle Earth, One Ring first edition campaign, which will take us from Rohan to God knows where. We'll see. So first, let's start with some introductions to the characters. And does anyone want to go first? And then there was silence.
I will go first.
Okay, Violet, go.
All right, so I am Violet, and I am playing Muriel. She is an elf from the Mirkwood. She's noble blood. I know it's not called background, but whatever the backgrounds are called in this system.
It is called a background.
It is called a background? Okay, well, there we go.
Yeah.
Her calling is like the leadership type calling. She's from a noble family. She wants to be like a leader, and she's like cool and fun. And that's, yeah. I don't know what else you want to know, but there you go.
That's good enough for me. Okay, so since we started with Violet, we will go in the reverse alphabetical order. So next one is Kira.
Hey, my name is Kira. I'm going to be playing Zistari. She is an elf of Lorien. Originally a protector of these springs, which exact name I've forgotten. One of the things that you'll get used to a lot in this is that I don't know a lot about Lord of the Rings. But she's a wanderer. She wants to go around because she hasn't really left home a lot. So she wants to see the world. Middle Earth is freaking big, man.
And also explore. She looks like a fucking cotton candy.
She really does. Basically, because I don't know a lot about Lord of the Rings, I've decided to just make a Disney princess who, on a technical basis, can talk to plants and animals. So, it's gonna get real weird real fast.
And probably also can sing. So. So yeah. Okay, so that was Kira, and now Kayla.
Hello, I'm Kayla. I'm playing Phelan. Faye, we can kind of go with as like a nickname. Phelan is a woods person of the Wilderland. I know the class is called Woodman, but the gendered language bothers me, so a woods person.
Sure.
Her calling is also Wanderer, though I would say she's a little more, she's not a little, she's significantly more less optimistic than Zesty and the wandering purposes there. She's almost 30, so she's like kind of getting up there for an adventurer, and she lives off the land, wanders around, and there you go.
Okay, and Anara.
Oh, that's right. I have to talk. So I'm Anara, and I'm playing Aislinn, and she is a writer of Rohan. So she's young. I think I decided she was 19, and she basically has a chip on her shoulder. She's a small person. She's a woman, and she's in a culture that's pretty male dominated in a lot of ways, and really just is trying to find her place and prove herself. So physically small and young, and a lot of what she does is trying to make a name for herself in the world. She also has a horse who is also a small horse who is has kind of a chip on her shoulder. I'm going to flesh that out a little bit more, but yeah, I'm excited to give the horse a personality and also a name, which I haven't decided on yet because I am slacking. But yeah, so Aislinn's whole personality is she's very very athletic. She's very combative. She is just pretty fiery, and that's going to be really what defines her. Is she is going out in the world to prove that she has what it takes to make a name for herself, I think.
And that's nice to know. So with the introductions out of the way, we can jump into getting you started. So as we established off screen, Muriel was on her way from Mirkwood to Lorien because why the fuck not? And on the way, she met Phelan and was able to get her guards to go back to Mirkwood to deal with the things that are to be dealt with there, and there's a lot of things to be dealt with there. So basically, since then, Phelan became kind of the guardian of Muriel. Because Muriel is noble, she needs guards. Phelan was around, why not?
Phelan takes odd jobs where she goes, so there you go.
Yep, that's a good job. Protecting an
And
elven noble is always a
Muriel
good.
would rather be around other pretty ladies than around male guards who are boring.
I mean, protecting elven nobles is always a good job, unless it takes you to Mount Doom. But hey, but then you reached Lorien. You probably visited there for a while and met Zestari. And you kind of decided to take her with you because she has never seen the world, and let's maybe get her out of house. And also, some elves in Lorien decided that maybe it's a good idea to check on Rohan because those are neighbors, and let's see what's going on there. Not that elves of Lorien leave Lorien that often; they usually don't. But hey, it's always good to check on neighbors. So you're traveling from Lorien to Rohan. It's quite a bit of a way. It's basically it's gonna be probably around few days of traveling. Did you get ponies to travel with, or do you travel on foot without ponies, carrying all of your equipment on you?
I have no money, so someone else would have had to provide
You know
the ponies.
who's rich? Zestari.
Yeah, I feel like I know a pony person.
Money. My nation is at war.
Yeah, I think Zestari would definitely.
Your nation is living in Mirkwood. It's at war with the place they live in.
I have a
because
horse.
everything around wants to kill you. Mirkwood, the Australia of Middle Earth.
Well, one of us comes with their own horse.
But you have not met her yet.
Small.
No,
Yeah,
that's true.
Small horse, just slightly above pony status. Actually, that comes. That's
I
a common sticking point.
Pony
plus.
plus.
One person, so we would need other horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at some point, like they would have just been like, "We need horses," and just be like, "I think I know a guy. I know a guy. He breeds horses. We could ask him."
Sure.
Go
as long as whoever's paying me gets it for me. I have no money.
Yes, the moment when we reach the point where at least half of the party does not have money.
Well, I mean, Muriel is Marshall, so it's like in the middle.
My background is frugal, which I don't think is good.
So basically, frugal means you have nothing, almost.
Yes.
You're surviving. You're surviving, that's it.
Just living off the land, walking around.
Martial means that you are able to pay for things for yourself, but that's it. And then we have the prosperous, which means you can pay for everyone, because seriously, who gives a fuck?
And she's not like a rich hoity-toity person. It's just kind of how her life has been. So, like, if she's sitting down to dinner with you guys, she's like, have you truly never tried these berries before? Like, these berries that, like, are not seen anywhere else and, like, cost a lot to farm.
Yeah.
So she's, like, obliviously rich.
100%. She's just like,
and also
this is my life.
And also things from Lorien tend to not be very much exported to anywhere else. Because, hey, Lorien! So basically how the world works, humans kind of mingle with each other because they do. Hobbits stay in Shire mostly, except for a few living in Bree and few very well hidden ones in the Wilderlands. Basically, if you look on Roll20 at the map, there are hobbits who are hiding right here. So below Woodmen, But they are hiding so much that even the woodmen don't know they are there.
Okay.
Yeah, no one knows the hobbits are there. Basically, they are hiding. They are hiding very fucking well. And then elves tend to isolate themselves in their own kingdoms. So we have 3. We have Lorien, we have Mirkwood, and then there's Elrond in Rivendell, and he's not that much isolating. A bit less than the others, actually. Maybe because he's not fully elf. Because, yeah, for those who don't know, and we lost Violet.
She'll be back.
It is.
I'm sure she'll be back.
The day
Yes.
for computer, like
Yes,
general
it's the day-
issues. Everybody's got a story today.
Yeah, let me pause the recording and we'll come back to recording. So
I'm so
basically, as
sorry.
I was saying, so the hobbits hide very well. Then we have elves who tend to keep to their kingdoms, mostly because the borders of their kingdoms are kind of made to be protected from shadow. So while they're in there, they do not risk getting corrupted with shadow. But if they venture outside, they can. And they do very much not that great with getting corrupted, so they prefer to stay within the boundaries of their kingdoms. And usually they don't let people from outside into their kingdoms. Thranduil sometimes allows guests, mostly because elves from Mirkwood tend to have some sort of trade going on with the Lake Town. And we lost Violet again.
Nope, we're good.
I'm here.
Okay. Because
I don't know what's
like we
happening with
lost you,
my Wi-Fi. It's been fine all morning, and
uh,
then I joined this, and now it's not working, and I don't know why.
Yeah, and then Elrond in Rivendell serves as the last safe house before you go through the mountains, which has for now only one passage through the mountains, and it's dangerous as hell, and trying to cross them any other way is even more dangerous. So that's fun. Up to points where it's impossible to go through those mountains, so that's great. But yeah, Elrond, if somebody doesn't know, isn't a full elf, he's a half elf. That sometimes happens, and then usually that offspring that's half elven has to choose at some point in life whether they prefer to spend the rest of their lives with humans or with elves. Because if they choose humans, they live a normal human lifespan, maybe a bit longer than regular human, but around that. And if they choose to go with elves, they live as elves and they age as elves. So basically, if you're born a half-breed, you can choose which of your families you will go with, and you will become fully that. So that's elves, and then the greatest is isolationists of Middle Earth are dwarves, because elves just build kingdoms in forests usually. Dwarves prefer to stay underground or in mountains, in stone citadels with stone doors, and basically good luck getting in. If they don't want you in, you will not. Because basically elves depend on magic to protect their kingdoms. So basically those are usually in forests or near rivers, and it's created in a way that if you don't know the way and you were not invited, you will not find it. You will just get lost and probably venture out of the woods at some point. But dwarves, no, they said, fuck that. We will just build walls and doors. Everything out of stone. Good luck getting in.
Very fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's safe to assume that Zestari has never once before left Lorien, because why would she?
She pretty much just keeps to the Silver Springs. By the way, it's on my character sheet. I figured that one out.
Yes, I know. I put it on your character sheet.
The Silver Springs, where she has been guardian of for. Time is a weird soup. Time works weird. I don't know. It's been a hot minute. She really hasn't done anything else. So she's like, when these two kind of adventurers came by and told her stories of these faraway, at least what she considers to be faraway places, she's just like, oh my god, I've been at a spring for so long. Take me with you. just kind of like
I mean, yeah, time goes by a bit differently for elves than it does for humans, mostly due to their lifespan. Because elves don't really die; they just travel west. When they feel that they were corrupted by shadow a bit too much, they just go west to live in the lands of elves, where there is no shadow. So, because they did kind of have that war a few eras before, so.
The great farm in the sky.
In the west.
In the west, the great farm in the west.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess she's just kind of like leg latched onto you guys, and you guys decided it was better to keep her as a party member than try and shake her off.
She's paying. I'll take her. I can handle it.
Yes, I. In the meantime, I checked, and Zestari is the only one with money.
We needed a rich patron, and now we have one.
Zestari keeps you low.
I mean, there is a mechanic for having an actual patron in the game, or few, because you can choose multiple people. But that's once you meet those possible patrons.
That's when everyone latches on the Legolas, right?
Actually, Legolas is not a possible patron, but Gandalf is. And also is Elrond. And Beorn. And a few others.
Okay. None of those are hot. But okay.
For Kira, who doesn't...
I'm sorry, why can't we have Legolas as the patron? Because, like, he's my friend. Like, can I go, like,
doesn't have
hey,
to,
buddy.
like...
No, Legolas is not in a position of power enough to be a patron, because patrons are usually one of the most powerful people.
Depends on what you want him to use his power for.
I just want to see them fight.
I do think that Tranduil could be a patron.
Oh, I'll take
if I went to Legolas, I was like, "Hey, dude, like, can you like sweet talk your dad for us?" Like,
that is his dad, right?
So yes, as Kira already knows who Tranduil is because yes, there were the gifts. And then Elrond is, as I mentioned, the half-elven. He's basically staying in his home in Rivendell, which is like here, on the other side of the mountains than you are in. And he's basically a very fucking good diplomat. I give him that. And other than that, he just provides a last safe place before crossing the mountains to people who he deems trustworthy enough. And
is it a thirsty campaign if everybody wants to sleep with the same person? Like,
Look,
we're not just generally thirsty. Like, we just have these two who are like specific.
If this doesn't become like the all-women's gay fantasy polycule, is it really even a D&D game?
I'm down for that.
I mean, I'm willing to share Legolas. Like, we can share him.
Like, are we setting goals? Because I feel like there are two people who have very specific goals right now.
I'm just going back to our fuck, marry, kill from like
way back when we were talking about Legolas as a goal.
Yes, the non-recorded part of session 0.
Yeah,
I know. I'm so sad about that. We'll have to revisit it like at the midway point.
Just like everyone wanted Legolas. I thought it was funny.
No, it's weird. This is the first campaign I've got into a long time without any clear picture of my love interest goal. Like, I'm just like, yeah, let's see what happens. I don't have a specific idea yet. I'll get there. Give me like two sessions, and I'll know who my character would like to fuck.
Yes, and for Kira also, Gandalf is one of the very few wizards traveling the Middle Earth. There's, I believe, like 5 or 6 of them. The only people who actually can do magic. One of them is slowly going bad, but that's another story. Nobody knows that yet. For now, everyone believes he's a good guy. And he's not living that far away from Rohan, to be honest. Because
he's fine.
It's fine. Fucking close to Rohan.
He keeps everything in order in the White Tower. It's all good. I don't know why you guys are acting like it's weird.
This person is great, and they know magic. It's like,
I mean, that's the fun part. As far as Rohan knows, Saruman is also still good.
I mean, we have
a name like Saruman, you know he's a good guy.
Like, I don't particularly trust wizards in general because wizards are weird. But like as far as they go, he's fine.
I mean, he didn't
Oh, you
send
want to talk
any
about
hobbits.
weird wizards? I know Radagast.
Oh yeah, right. Because Radagast lives right next to Phelan's people, and yeah, they do meet him because he kind of lives there, and he's kind of
He's crazy.
Yes,
He's like warm fuzzy weird though, not like
yes, but
powerful
also
weird.
useful, and also your people are usually very trusting towards him, and he helps you, and you help him, and yeah. So whenever you have like basically a giant campfire to talk about things and stuff among the elders of your place, he's usually also there.
Shows up with all his frickin' rabbits and such.
And yeah, because most of the wizards, from the wizards we know, Radagast is one of them, and he's kindly staying put in the place. Saruman is also kindly staying put in one place. That's not a good thing in a few years. It's not gonna be a good thing, but hey. And then,
so when it comes to Saruman, like, do the people of Lorien, they know of him, but like not a lot have met him?
He's one of the wizards, so they do know of him because wizards, you do keep track of that. But yeah, also as far as they know, he's just probably gonna be a good help when Shadow comes back, if it comes back. But it might come back because Shadow tends to do that. And then
everybody I know personally smells like horses. Okay, I don't. Y'all all throwing out these big names. I'm just like.
We will always be able to count on Saruman, the good dude.
Basically. Yeah. Then there are the two blue wizards who are somewhere in the Middle Earth, but nobody knows where, because they are very rarely encountered. And then there's Gandalf, who just kind of ventures around, goes to different places, and sends hobbits to certain deaths. So. But some of the hobbits survive.
Yes, Tolkien's allegory for Merlin.
Yes, Gandalf is annoying. We know that. I mean, to be honest, Bilbo wasn't a fan when he first met him. And later on also. I don't think Bilbo was ever a fan of Gandalf.
So where are we headed?
Friends. What?
Yes,
they love each other.
Out from Lorien towards Rohan.
Yes.
Yeah, you wanted to see a city of people, right?
Yes. If you wouldn't mind pinging that.
Yes, and Edoras, which is the capital of Rohan, is actually one of actual cities, well, towns. But that's as big as you get in Middle Earth, because basically, as far as actual towns go, towns that cannot be counted as a village, only slightly bigger. It's Edoras, it's gonna be Esgaroth, which is the lake town, Dale, which is right south of Erebor, and probably something in Gondor.
Well, I found Lorien on the map.
And
because
on the map that we have on Roll20, there is not Rohan, because in the maps from the books that were done, Rohan was not on one of them. Because they were.
I'm not even important enough to be on the map.
No, that's that's mostly because the tabletop RPG didn't do Rohan until very, very much later on. So the maps were done with all the things that they did up to that point, and the things that they knew they will do, and then they said, "Hey, let's go south." Oh fuck!
This is why Gondor didn't come to our aid.
Where was Gondor when the lights were? I don't know the rest of the quote, actually. I don't know very much Lord of the Rings, sorry.
When the Westfall fell.
Yeah. Something about light.
I'm gonna have a couple of drinks, and then I'm gonna be like showing my Lord of the Rings tattoo. It's gonna be fun, you guys.
Hell yeah.
All right, so we're just kind of like doodling along the river, right?
Yes. So basically, I believe Kira acquired you ponies to carry stuff or actual horses to travel on?
I think we'll just go with ponies. right? Like we could get some cardio.
Among the three of you, you would be absolutely fine with 1 or 2 ponies, max. 2 would be safest.
We'll do 2. We'll do 2. We never know what we might pick
that
up
will
along the way.
help us- And you having ponies will help us in not having to deal with encumbrance from the travel gear, because you can just stash it on your ponies and don't give a fuck about it.
Yay!
Which is good.
Excellent.
Because otherwise, depending on the season, you would have actual additional 2 or 3 encumbrance for traveling gear. So
Great.
that would be fun.
I don't think I have a lot of encumbrance to spare.
Yeah, I know. Anara will be in a good position with her horse, because once she chooses, her armor encumbrance goes down as long as she's on the horse.
Yay! I still need to name the horse.
No worries.
She has a whole personality, and she doesn't even have a name, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm prepared.
We'll just not do her today, and we'll do her next time.
I can talk. We can RP. I just won't use her in combat.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, so guys, you're traveling south from Lorien to Rohan. It's southeast, actually, a bit, to get to Edoras. And yes, it's not on the map, but I at least remember where it is.
It's like this area-ish.
Even further south, like.
Oh, like we're going off the map.
It's on the other side of the mountain, isn't it?
No, it's on the same side of the mountain. It's on the same side of the mountains, actually.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I don't have a map that includes Rohan, because why would I have a map that includes Rohan? Not that I'm playing in Rohan or something.
I already feel like, am I the only human?
No, you're one of the 2 humans.
You're a human. Okay. I wasn't sure. I was already feeling like
I'm at least 3/4 human. I might be a whole human. What do I know?
Yeah, because it's Lorien and then Fangorn and then Rohan right underneath it. I was thinking they were on the other side. It's fine.
No, they are on the very same side of those mountains.
Yeah.
Which is why we're starting in Rohan and not in Bree, because seriously, if I had to get you to Bree, I don't know what bullshit I would have to pull. Because it's way easier to explain what all of you would be doing in Esgaroth, so Lake Town, than it is to explain what you would be the fuck doing in Bree. Because Bree is on the other side of the mountains, which means all of you will have to cross the mountains at some point, and that's not safe to do alone at any point. It's not safe even if you're in a party.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Iceland is alone, or Aislinn.
Yes, thank you, Anara, for the other map on Discord. So yeah, it's a bit south from Lorien. There's another forest on the way, actually.
Yay!
Yeah, Fangorn. Fangorn's a totally fine. There's nothing weird that happens there. It's just,
good thing you're on the right side of the Great River to go to Rohan.
Great.
Because otherwise you would also have to find an option for you to cross the river. Because the fun part about the river is that there's literally one crossing through it.
That sounds...
There's one bridge over it, total.
Sounds like a great...
very inefficient, to be honest.
I bet you there's definitely not bandits there that wait for people to cross and steal their shit.
Actually, there's not, because that bridge is protected from north by Burnings and from south by Woodman. It's very fucking well protected, because that's also towards the only road through the mountains. So all the merchants go through there. And if they want to go across the Mirkwood, they also have to cross that bridge and then go up to the only road through Mirkwood, because the Old Forest Road currently is not accessible. Because it hasn't been upkept for a bit, and right now it's overgrown and full of spiders.
As you do.
I vote
but
that
we'll
we
get
don't
to that
go
part
to
of the
spiders.
road later on, because there is actually an adventure about helping with getting that road to work.
I do want to make
I've
it clear
al-
right now that I can swim. Just throwing that out there. Definitely.
Good
can
for
swim.
you.
Good for you, but swimming in Anduin is not a great idea.
Yeah,
That's
probably not.
literally
Probably
the
not.
biggest river here.
Yeah, I didn't say it was good. I'm establishing as canon that I know how to swim because
No,
I feel like
same,
we're
though.
gonna remember this moment in like 6 months. Be like, oh wait, she said she can. I'm like, yes, I made it very clear early on that I know how to swim.
Yes, you will probably at some point travel to some places via boat because that will be just fucking faster. You will just have to get big enough boat for a horse and 2 ponies. And
Well,
then
we
have
don't.
someone,
We aren't like
and then have
committed to the
someone
ponies so much.
convince the horse and the ponies to go on the boat.
We
Oh,
have
my
someone
horse,
who can
Zesty.
my
talk to
horse is
animals,
fine.
don't we?
My horse is super smart. She's cool.
Can't Zesty talk to animals?
Yes.
I can. And I can
Yeah.
calm animals down using my song.
So
Yeah.
you could bring
Zesty
them on a
can
boat.
talk to
Mhm.
anything. Zesty
Q
can
and
talk to
Oh,
hour
wow.
and
literally
a half
anything.
of horse.
I
and
can
Zesty
genuinely
RP.
communicate with rocks. Like it's
Yes.
so wild.
Yes.
But what do rocks have to do with you?
You don't know because you don't listen to the stories of the rocks, and you're also not here.
Not yet. Okay,
The
so you're
voices in my
traveling.
head. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
That's great.
If you say
Okay,
so.
so back to your oh shit words. Okay, back to your travel. You're going south from Lorien to Edoras because that's what one does when one wants to visit Rohan and see what's going on. You go to the capital because where else would you go?
Mhm.
And on your way, you're just traveling. You're not far from Rohan by now. I would say about 1 day out. And that's when we will switch from the 3 of you to Aizen. Aizen, you were sent out from Rohan to track down some bandits that caused some problems in Edoras, and somebody needs to catch them. And you were tracking them down, and now you notice in a distance that there are 3 women who are about to get ambushed.
Okay. Well, I am going to obviously ride up to them to warn them that there are bandits here and they definitely should be more careful and aware of what's happening around them. My gosh, if you're going to travel in the countryside here, it can be very dangerous. And I just get kind of scoldy, and it's probably very uncomfortable since you just met me.
I do have the quick of hearing trait, so I feel like I would hear this person coming from far away.
You definitely hear a horse riding up towards you very fucking fast.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
would
trying
draw
to
my bow. I
hide.
wouldn't actually shoot her, but I would draw my bow.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, I'll hold
Okay.
my
There's somebody
axe and my
riding at me
shield.
with a horse. I'm gonna draw my
Yeah.
bow.
Zesty,
Well,
get back.
I
What's going
have
on?
the helmet of the Riders of Rohan, so you guys can probably, as soon as I'm close enough to see, you can probably assume
I
because
don't
it's
know
a
you. You could
kind
have
of a-
stolen that helmet. You could be possessed by the shadow. How am I supposed to know?
fair.
It's probably
Shadow-
fine, Zesty, but
Shadow-
stand behind me.
Shadow doesn't possess people. Shadow corrupts.
Yeah, you might be corrupted by
It's
the
the
shadow. How am I
same
supposed to-
thing in the fantasy
Oh, no.
universe.
If you're possessed, you go evil fast, but for a limited amount of time. If you're corrupted, you go evil very slow, but for, well, if it goes far enough, for forever.
Game mechanics.
And the rules of the world, but yeah. Okay, so since you will not be ambushed because, well, the horse gave it away, the initiative in combat will be on your side. Because, yes, I have all the different freaking tables for all the things. So there will be no surprise attacks because you know they are coming and they know you're there. So, yeah. We determined the initiative. So now we will switch to the combat stances map because that's what we do for combats. And I will start sharing my screen. Hopefully nothing will go wrong. Wait a second.
I
Okay.
do have a woodland bow, so I'm always allowed to make an additional opening volley. So I don't know if I get 2 or 1 in this case, but I have that.
Okay, is my screen sharing working?
Yes.
It's loading for me. Now it's working. See.
Okay, great. So we can see the combat thingy. Let me just zoom out a bit so we can see the full of it. Okay, so we go into combat. Okay, so first thing that we will do is that all of you will roll for battle to determine how many advantages for combat you will get. So additional d6s to use in combat. Everybody roll me battle. You roll by picking the little d12 next to the skill. It's barely visible, I know, but it's all what we have. So.
What's the target number?
Just leave it as it is. Don't mind it. It's there because it has to be, but it's different every time. Okay, Phelan already has a success because she rolled a Gandalf rune.
I told you I had this.
Let me just maybe go to the roll so that we can see them on screen also.
Battle. Where is battle on the character sheet?
Where you have your common skills on your character sheet.
Middle bottom of the big 3 rows.
Exactly.
It's just a skill. Okay, I see.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, so we have 1 success from Phelan for rolling the rune of Gandalf, another from Muriel who rolled like crazy.
21, baby.
I'm clicking and it's not rolling.
It probably wants you to choose the target and submit. It pops like another window.
Yeah, I'm not getting a pop-up though either. It's not like where I get a pop-up for I not getting a pop-up for a modifier or anything. It is weird.
It's like this weird.
Are you clicking on the small D12 next to button?
Maybe that's it. Let's see. No, okay. All right, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, so basically everyone except Zestari rolled succeeded. So all of you can now go on your character sheet and tick the little box in the skill group for battles of vocation. So the first box.
Okay.
Say that one more time.
Where is that?
Like the level up skill group. So to the far right of where the skills are.
On the far right from the common skills, you have the skill groups and you can mark the vocation. Everyone except for the Starry, who unfortunately didn't pass the roll.
Okay, cool.
And Anara, since you were clicking on the battle on and off, and that kind of basically makes it underlined or not, do you remember if you had battle as your favorite skill or not? Or do you want me to check?
I don't remember. I should have, but that doesn't necessarily mean I did.
Okay, let me just check on it. I believe I still do have the code somewhere. Yeah, I do, and that's it. Let me just check quickly. That's the good thing about me having the codes. And until your battle was not your favorite skill.
Yeah, I don't remember that being an option.
A quick question.
Yep.
What would this terrain be, and what time of day is it?
So basically, you will be combating on the plains. So basically, pretty flat terrain. You will probably camp near a forest. But the battle will not take place in a forest because obviously it won't. So yeah. And okay, seeing your rolls, you get 3 additional dice, d6s to spend during the combat. So each of you at some point in combat can use one of those d6s to, for example, add it to attack, for example. Today we will do the combat an easier way without the possible maneuvers in combat because that would be a lot of learning and I know that Anara doesn't have a mind for that right now.
And I think all of us don't have a mind for it to begin with. I think we should start
exactly.
easy
So we'll
and
do
then
the
build our way
easy
up.
way. So we'll do it the easy way. So please place your tokens on the map. Now anywhere we will choose the stances in a second. Let me just enlarge the tokens because
Network.
seriously they are
There
way
we
too
go.
small.
And it is. I'm guessing it's
I don't
like
know how to make her bigger.
daytime, right?
Oh, okay, you did it. Cool.
I think it's daytime, yeah.
Yes, it's gonna be like early evening maybe, so it's still lights on. Okay, I think I made Phelan a bit bigger than the rest. Okay, let's just go. Okay, so next up, before we choose stances or do anything like that, and let me put the enemies also on the map. There are 3 guys. They are feeling very confident. So first, the thing that we resolve are opening volleys. So both people who use bows, and if anyone has a thrown weapon, then they can use it also. You can make an attack.
Okay, so how do I do that?
Basically the same way you roll anything else from your character sheet. There is a D12 next to your bow.
Oh, it's on the other side. It's on the left side. Okay.
Yeah.
And then because I have that woodland bow, does that just mean that I get to do 2?
Yeah, I believe it said that you have 2 opening volleys. So yes.
Yes. There's 1 additional. Okay.
Yep.
And you
So
want
you
us to
make it
just
2.
like not mess with the target number at all?
Don't mess with it. Just ignore it.
Because she'll
Just
know the
basically
target
ignore it.
number. So.
Okay, let me just check the TN to hit those guys because that is the shooting stance, so TN 12 plus the parry, which is it is. And so far none of the attacks hit, unfortunately.
Okay.
Which happens. But that was okay. Does anyone have a thrown weapon they want to use? Because that would also be an opening volley.
What's a thrown weapon? what are thrown weapons?
Javelin, things like that.
I have a spear.
Is it a thrown spear?
It just says spear.
The game does not do anything on that. It just says
I
spear.
don't think a regular spear is that thrownable.
What if I'm mad?
Are you always
I don't think
mad?
I've ever met a
I'm
spear
mad
that wasn't
now
throwable.
because we got lectured by the freaking cops. Okay.
A cab includes Aislinn. Oh no.
I love
Okay.
that the riders of Rohan are basically just the fuzz.
No! You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I can take it. Fake your jokes. I take myself very seriously.
Sure. Okay. Back to the combat. So now that we resolved the opening volleys, we can move to choosing a stance. So as I mentioned on the session 0, but now a refresher, we have 4 stances. Anyone who wants to use a bow needs to stand in the rear board. And they need to have 2 people in front of them to be able to stay in rear board. And then the other stances we have are forward, open, and defensive. Forward is where you basically attack recklessly at the cost of your own defense, so you're opening yourselves to attacks also. Open is where you engage your enemy openly, but without basically showing off your soft spots or things like that. And defensive is where you take your stance a bit more defensively, so you're trying to protect yourself from the enemies more than attack them. And stance determines what will be the target number to hit your enemies and what will be the target number for the enemies to hit you. So basically the target number to hit you is the TN of the stance plus your parry. And same for the enemies. For you to hit them is the TN of the stance you are in and their parry. So,
Okay.
choose your stances. Because enemies don't take stances, they just engage people who chose stances.
And we can change every round what our stance
Yes,
is, correct?
you can change your stance every round.
Okay.
I would like to stick to the rearward if possible.
I mean, you're shooting a bow. You have to be in revolt.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like me and you
Yeah.
are the rearward, and then the other two can pick between the top three.
Yeah, I was gonna say I considered forward, but I don't want to die in session 1.
I'm gonna stick with open
'Cause
where
I
I
am-
am.
Yeah, we'll stay. So I see the
Okay.
two of us like
Are
kind of
there
like
any
we all go. We
actions- Go ahead.
we run up and like we kind of realize that we aren't fighting each other. We're fighting the bandits, and we sort of like eye each other up and down, and we're like, okay, you look like you might know what you're doing. Let's see. And there's just like, so now we're sort of competing with each other.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like,
My
okay,
question is like, are
okay.
there any actions in combat that aren't just hit thing with weapon?
Yes, but those are the maneuvers that absolutely we could do today. But I know that some of you are not exactly in the mindset to learn new things, and there's a lot of options.
Tonight, hit things
I
with
mean, I'm
weapon.
just gonna
Gotcha.
hit things with weapons always. That's always gonna
Basically,
be my
I've
choice.
sent
So.
you the images on the Discord channel. But basically, each stance has like 3 different things that they can do. Instead of attacking or attached to attacking, most instead of attacking. So for the rearward stance, you can either prepare shot, so you forfeit your attack in one turn to then in the next turn have an attack that if it hits, it counts as a cold shot. And cold shots are usually attacks that are used to break the shield or something like that, depending on the weapon you use. For bows, it's a piercing attack, which means that it is something that can wound the enemy, and for most enemies, 1 wound is enough to kill them. Or just take them down, because basically if you encounter something from the shadow creatures, you can kill it, but usually, as you're the good guys, if you encounter humans, so bandits, you don't kill, you just basically make them unconscious and then drag them to the authorities to deal with them.
Okay.
Another
I was
thing
ready
that
to kill them, but that's not what we do, evidently.
You're the good guys, you don't kill people, you kill the monsters.
Oh
You
no!
don't kill
Oh
people.
no! We made a hard mistake.
And then also in rearward, so also the archers can do a maneuver that's called Harry Foes. So basically, instead of shooting 1 arrow at a target, you shoot a lot of arrows against a TN 12 plus the highest parry among the enemies. And if you succeed, you can reduce the TN for the target number for next attack aimed at the foes to the value of their parry only. And depending on how great of a success you will get on that attack, that depends how many foes will be affected with that. It doesn't do damage, it just lowers the target number to hit them significantly. And then you can seek a mark, so instead of attack, roll awareness or battle to observe enemies, and on a success, you reduce the target number for you to hit the enemies by 4 for a number of rounds, depending on how good of a success it was.
Nice. Okay, cool.
And that's what the archers can do. Does anyone want to know what they can do in open, for example?
I read it.
I just want to
feel
swing
okay.
my sword.
Yeah, I
Okay,
have the
because
thing
yeah,
up.
I did provide the image that kind of sums them up as much as because I basically deleted all the fluff from them and decided to write them down as shortly as possible.
Heck yeah,
I'm definitely
we thank you
not
for that.
singing, so I'm gonna just attack.
I mean, you can also inspire instead of song.
Well,
But yeah. Okay, so so in that case, let's go with who the enemies will actually approach, and they will go to the people in the open first. Who looks more like? Yeah, I'm sorry, but Phelan looks more dangerous than Aislinn, most likely.
That is insulting.
You made a point of telling me how not threatening Aizen
She's
looks
just
so.
little. She's a little person.
Which is why you get one bandit.
Like,
And Phelan
5
gets
foot
two.
nothing. It's fine.
I'm a
And
big
now,
person with a big axe, so.
and now basically how we
Yeah.
resolve initiative in combat is that we go stance by stance. So since we have nobody in forward, we move to open. And since the initiative was on the side of you, so Phelan and Aizen decide which one of you goes first.
Huh?
Which one of the open people goes first? You guys basically
Oh,
choose.
you can go first.
Sure, I'll go
You can go first since your axe is
Okay.
bigger.
So, well, it's pretty big, yeah. Okay. So I just click to swing it, right? There's nothing else happening here.
You just if you attack, you
Okay.
attack.
I'm attacking. Here I come.
Smack him in the face.
And just tell one. I know.
The target number doesn't matter. There.
And you hit. Which one?
That one. That one. I'm trying.
You need to hold
The one on the left.
The one on the left. Okay.
That one.
I have it. Okay, and now since you rolled a 6 on one of the d6s, so a Tengvar rune, you for the damage from that attack, you count the damage of the weapon and your own damage on your character sheet.
Okay. So
So
that
how much
damage
total
of
that
the
would be?
weapon is 5, and then
Unless
the
you wield it two-handed,
I
believe.
wielded it one-handed with the shield in the other hand.
So 5?
5, and plus
Yep.
damage. That's the one under combat values.
Yep.
4, so 9.
Nice. That you can notice that it hurt him a lot, as in he's halfway down, and of course it fucking updated for all of them. Okay. Because basically that's what happens when I use the same token for all the guys. No worries. Okay, so that was your attack. So now Aizen.
All right, so this woman seems to know what she's doing, so I'm gonna kind of back towards her, so we're like back to back. I know it's not a visual map, but I wanted to move the tokens, yeah. And then I am familiar with strategic combat, being raised that way. So I'm gonna swing at the same one that she swung at. But I'm gonna miss.
Yeah, that doesn't hit.
Okay.
Okay. So that was your attacks. And now it will be their turn. And I forgot to open myself a character sheet for them, because why would I? Okay. Let me see. So they will attack. So first the one that's standing next to Aizen will attack Aizen. And they hold axes. So they will attack with axes. Actually, maybe I shouldn't roll it on the screen where I'm showing things. Maybe I should roll it on the screen where I'm not showing things. Okay.
You can reveal the secrets if you want to.
No, thank you. Okay. So they will access and they will attack. And now, Aizen, what's your parry rating? Oh, flying fire.
Oh my god.
I think they hit.
Probably.
How did that even happen?
Yeah, my parry rating is a 4.
I mean, yeah, but they rolled 29, so.
Yeah.
How did that even
How did it get to
Combat
29?
number 1, y'all.
Yeah.
Combat number 1.
Actually, they literally cannot miss because they have a +5 and my parry rating is 4. So their minimum roll would be a 9, and which is more than double my parry rating.
So I guess you need to go into defensive.
But the target number to hit you is the TN of the stance plus your parry rating.
So it'd be 13.
So in your case, it's 18, I believe, or something like that. But yeah, they hit. So that's 5 damage to you.
Okay, let's see, where do I record
How come they
that?
get 3 dice in addition to the regular thing?
So
And a
basically on your
+5. Like, where's that coming from?
Okay, so basically how enemies work, the character sheet for enemies is different than yours, a lot different. And when they have a skill or a weapon underlined, they always use their attribute bonus, and they only have one attribute bonus. And those guys are good at using axes.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So basically, to record your damage when you go on your character sheet, at the bottom where you have your endurance, etc., you just take it down from your endurance. And once the amount of endurance left equals your total fatigue, you're entering being weary.
Okay, and how much damage did I just take?
Yeah, let me just tell you because I just looked at it, and that was
I think you said
okay,
5.
that was 5.
Okay.
So that's not terrible. And now the two guys next to Phelan. First one hits. So that's 5.
Okay.
And the second one also hits.
How are they rolling
I don't
so
understand
good?
at all what's going on here. Like with how.
Me
Okay.
either.
It's a D12 plus 3D6 plus 5 to
Yep.
try and hit people who probably
Okay.
don't have anything higher than a 16. Because you guys are in open, which means your TN is 9, plus whatever your parry is.
Okay.
So it's harder to hit us in the back, but even us in the back would be getting our absolute shit
Yeah,
wrecked.
we'd be getting our asses kicked right now with these rolls.
Okay.
Because like my parry, is a 6? I think
My parry's a 5, which is like really good.
my parry's a 6. My parry's a 6, but that would be my TN. Like my target number would be 18, and they'd still be whipping my ass. So.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna retcon because I probably did them a bit too strong, so I'm gonna retcon for the next round. And they will not have that favored.
Okay.
Cool.
But now we're going to archers.
Can you tell me one more time where to put the damage?
Yeah, on your character sheet where you have endurance, you have it like 2 fields, and you just detract it from 1.
Okay. Endurance.
Okay, and now the archers.
Uh,
Which one of you goes first?
Vi, you want in first or me?
I really don't care. I'll go first because I feel like Muriel would want to go first. She'd be like, "I got this, Zesty," and we'll see if she's actually got it or not. Let's see. 18 to hit.
Yep, that no, that doesn't hit.
It doesn't.
No, their parry is 5. So
5
you need
plus
to.
12 is
Oh no, right.
17.
Fuck, I can't count. Don't mind. Yeah, that hits.
That's why I was 17. 18 is bigger than 17, my friend.
Yes, my math didn't work right now. That's why
All
I
right.
usually depend on the computer to do the maths. And which one are you targeting?
We about to re-roll.
I was gonna target because I'm on the right. I'm gonna target. Actually, I'll just target the one in the middle that I saw got hit.
Okay,
That
and
seems
what's
like a
your
good
bow
person.
damage?
5.
5. So he's not doing great, but he's still alive.
Okay, I'm going to reduce your enemies by. Okay, I'm going to seek a mark.
Okay.
I'm gonna go far left guy. I think that my friends have got that middle guy, and so I'm gonna prepare far left guy for our next volley of attacks. So
Okay.
I'm gonna roll awareness.
The mark works for all of the enemies for as many rounds as great of your success will
Oh, good. Screw all of those guys then.
be. So roll me either awareness or battle.
I'm gonna roll awareness because it's way better.
And that's unfortunately only a normal success, so you have that TN for them reduced by 4 for 2 rounds.
Oh, let's go.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay, so now we're back to the beginning of round. So if anyone wants to change a stance, now's the time. I'm believing the archers won't be changing stances, but does anyone in the open want to change a stance?
I don't think so.
Now that they're getting
Yes.
retconned, I want to see what happens before I fall back.
They won't have the +5. They won't have the +5. I can tell you that they will not have the +5.
Also, I know you said that they were having the +5 because their thing was favored, but my bow is favored, but I didn't have a plus.
Yeah, but
to that.
yes,
my
because
sword is favored.
yes, because again, enemies work different than you. Your favorite things mean that when you spend a point of hope to help you with a roll, you add your favorite attribute bonus. And you have 3 attributes, remember. They have one
Okay.
attribute and they don't have hope for obvious reasons. And they have other special special things that they can do that use hate.
So if I used a point of but if you used a point of hope on your bow, that's not under any of the 3 attributes.
Yes, weapons go from body.
From body. Okay.
And you're adding
So that
that
would be a
to
plus.
hit?
Yes.
Okay.
And when do you regain hope?
So hope, basically all of you have a fellowship pool of 4 points because there's 4 of you. And as I learned today when I was revisiting all the freaking rules, you can spend it at any point during the game, but that pool is for all of you. So basically,
So the
you
thing that says 12 out of 12 hope on the bottom of my character sheet is not
yes,
correct.
so you have 12 hope points at the moment. But basically, I had a table for that somewhere. Where did I put it?
So like I have 12 personal hope points and then the group has 4 to share between the 4 of us.
Yeah, the 4 to share are for recovering hope. For recovering the points of hope you already used. And that comes, as I said, from that fellowship pool. So you have 4 of that to basically divide among yourselves.
Okay.
Usually, people do that at the end of game to regain all the hope lost. But as I learned today, you can do it at any point in the game.
Perfect.
And you have these 4 points to spend every game.
So like every time we get together, we have the 4 points again?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Those are per game, per session.
Okay, so we
Okay.
don't have to be as stingy with the hope as I thought we did.
Yeah, 'cause we
Technically,
can
no,
use it.
but it's way easier to spend a lot of it than regain it.
Yes.
Because still, you only regain it at the speed of having those 4 points to divide among the 4 of you every game. So yes, as long as you stick to spending only 1 point per game each, you're golden. But if somebody spends more, we're starting to head to the spiral of losing hope. And then when you start gaining shadow, that's where things get interesting, because basically you're safe from being corrupted as long as your current hope is above your current temporary shadow points. But the moment your temporary shadow points start to equal your current hope, you erase your temporary shadow points, you gain 1 permanent shadow point, and you receive a bout of madness, which usually
Excellent.
comes also with developing a flaw of character.
That's fine. This game.
Because for now you're good people, you have no flaws,
Yeah.
you're basically perfect. Until
We're all Mary Seuss.
Yay!
This game system has like 60,000 different ways of gaining shadow. We'll cross that bridge.
Oh yes.
That bridge when we come
I mean,
to it.
I've sent you the table of misdeeds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll gain some shadow. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
This will turn into a villain campaign like halfway through.
Halfway, that's optimistic.
Because yes, misdeeds are very different from lying purposefully to torment and torture. That's basically how we scale that.
Yeah.
Now
So yes,
go,
basically,
friends, and
if
beat
you
their ass.
so
All
yes,
right.
violent threats are also a shadow gain.
Holy crap!
Violent threats or a shadow
That wasn't a
gain?
violent threat.
Yes.
That was a rallying
Basically,
cry.
you get 1 point for violent threats, lying purposefully, or subtly manipulating the will of others.
So, like, what if you're like cheering on your friends and not actually threatening anyone?
Then that's okay.
Can you?
Yeah.
Nothing.
It was like, I don't want
You get
violence
carry
against
on.
you. I just want violence in general.
You get 2 points for cowardice, theft and plunder, and killing without need. 3 for unprovoked aggression, abusing own authority to influence or dominate. 4 for breaking an oath or treachery, and 5 for torment and torture and murder. And those are the ways in which you gain shadow without any rolls to save yourselves from it.
God,
Because other things can have basically a saving throw to see if you will get corrupted or not. But that's usually blighted places.
can you imagine if that were the actual rules in 5e D&D? Your shit would be chaotic evil within like session 3.
Yup. Yeah, basically you get your random group of murder hobos into a campaign with those rule sets, and they go evil very fucking fast.
Well, welcome to Avernus, bitches. This is where you belong.
Okay, so back to our combat. So I'm guessing our open stance ladies are not switching the stances, right?
Not
Right.
yet, no.
Okay, so which one of you wants to go first this time?
We can continue the same.
Sure.
Okay.
So wait, just a clarifying question. If I hit
Yep.
that middle guard to 0, is he dead and that was bad?
No, he's unconscious.
Okay, he's just unconscious. Good.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Basically,
commit a murder by accident.
So basically, the unspoken rule is that as long as you're combating humans,
Mhm.
or elves, or basically people, you don't kill them, you just make them unconscious. If you're battling trolls, spiders, orcs, and things like that, then you fight to kill, because they will also fight to kill. Bandits will not fight to kill,
Okay,
usually.
gotcha. All right.
You fight to kill only the things that will also fight to kill you.
Let's swing that axe. Please. Little axe. There we go. 16.
And that hits.
Hooray!
That hits with oh my god, you hit with so many additional damage, because for every 6 you roll on your attack for on the d6s, you add your damage from your combat values. So you would add it twice here, so he's very, very unconscious.
So 8 plus 5, 13.
Yes, he couldn't be more unconscious.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah.
He was at 4. And now Aizen.
Okay, I'm gonna also try and stabby stab.
You have a sword. Swords don't usually stab.
Well, they
kind of
can.
slash.
That's why she didn't
Yeah,
hit.
either
She
or.
can stab if she
It's
wants
okay
to
though. I
stab.
don't miss
She didn't though.
because no. Apparently, I cannot roll.
Yeah, that does not hit.
Hey,
Yeah.
try hitting them with the sword.
Try
Apparently, I
hitting
don't
instead
do
of
that.
stabbing. That might work. Okay, so
know.
now the guy next to Aizen will attack Aizen.
Yep.
I think he still hit.
Yeah, because my parry is a 4.
So that's 5 damage. And the one next to
Okay.
Phelan.
I'm fatigued now.
So you're weary. So mark
Yeah.
that on your character sheet. You should have a box to tick for weary. And that means that from now on, 1s, 2s, and 3s on your d6s will not count.
Okay.
You can throw
That's
off
all I
your...
roll.
I mean, you can throw off your helmet and your shield if you have any to basically regain some of your endurance.
Don't want to die in session 1, so
as I said, those are bandits. Bandits usually don't fight to kill.
Well, I don't want to fall unconscious in session 1 either.
Yeah, that would be, yeah. I mean, somebody in if they okay, not in forward definitely, but if somebody was in the open, they could probably heal you a bit because that's something you can do in the open stance. But then the other one attacking Phelan, I think he misses because I believe your parry is greater than 3, right?
My parry is 6.
So yeah, he misses. So now the archers.
All right,
one additional bit of combat that I forgot about and comes into play now. Aisden, since you were reduced to being weary, you can do a knockback, so get knocked back a bit from the combat, from the amount of damage you took. And then next turn, you do not take an action, but also you won't be able to receive damage.
I'm trying to figure out how my parry is so low, though, because just from armor and shield and headgear,
your
I have
armor does not raise your
5.
parry. Remember.
Okay.
Does it raise your endurance
Your
instead?
armor is for when somebody hits you with a piercing attack, and your parry comes from your wits, I believe.
From my wits. Interesting.
Yeah.
From
Also,
wits.
wait, hold on.
Wits is my.
Didn't Zesteria like lower their TN though?
Yes, but for Zesty to hit them. Only for Zesty to hit them.
So
only
what
for
does
Zesty. Okay, I thought it
armor
was for
and
everyone.
headgear actually do?
Okay, so
Yeah.
basically, sometimes enemies can do a piercing. No, not okay. So basically, each weapon has an edge, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have that on your character sheets. When on your roll for attack you roll that edge, that's considered a piercing blow, which is a risk of getting wounded. So when you would be at the risk of being wounded, you roll your armor, and you have a plus from your headgear to that roll to beat the injury rating of that weapon. If you beat it, you don't get wounded. If you don't, you get wounded.
Gotcha.
And that works the same for the enemies, because if you hit them with your edge, they have to defend against your weapon's injury rating. And if they don't, they get wounded. And most enemies, if they get wounded, they are down. Except for things like trolls and things like that.
So do you have to roll equal to your edge or equal or higher?
Equal or higher.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Okay. So
wait, so when I rolled the 18, my edge is 10. Wouldn't it have wounded him?
you would have to roll that 10. That 10 you have to roll on your d12.
Oh, it's specifically only
Yeah.
on the D12.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
you have the edge must appear on your d12.
Okay, cool. I think I missed that part. My bad.
Yeah.
Cool.
I might have not explained it great. So yeah, basically, yeah, the edge has to appear on the d12. It's different for different weapons. Some have it lower, some have it higher. Spears are the greatest at that because I believe spears have the edge at 9. But most weapons have it at 10 or higher, and then daggers and things like that have it only on the 12. So the Gandalf rune.
So I believe.
Oh, that's what the G means. Got it.
Yes,
Okay.
G is Gandalf.
I believe
Didn't I make a
it's
Gandalf room
the bow bitches now.
Yeah, I think it was like.
You got a Gandalf rune.
You
something.
did, but for battle. Phelan had a Gandalf rune, but for battle, not for attacking.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. So as I said, Aizen, if you want, you can take the knockback, so not be active next turn, but also not be able to be attacked next turn. That's up to you. And I believe there were some additional benefits to being knocked back, but I would have to freaking find them.
I don't think she would do that.
I assumed as much. Okay, but then back to combat. We have the archers.
I'll rock up first this time because I was keeping aware of this person.
And for you, the TN to hit the enemies is for -4, so instead of 17, it's 13.
Beautiful.
Because you seek the mark.
Let's go ahead and hit him with a bow.
Which one?
Hit them with your best shot.
I'm gonna hit them. Let's go. Yeah, leftmost guy.
Okay.
Oh,
flying fuck.
well,
And now we're encountering the Eye of Sauron,
cool.
which has a one bad thing in combat. Because usually Eye of Sauron just means that you failed because it counts as 0 for the heroes, because for the enemies that's the same as the Rune of Gandalf. For you. So basically, when you roll an Eye of Sauron in combat, that means that if the attacker's next attack hits, it's considered a cold shot. So in this case, they are fighting with axes, and the cold shot for axes is breaking a shield.
But is it
So
only if they
basically,
hit you,
if the guy you
or
just
does it hit anyone?
attacked, come again?
Is it only if that attacker is hitting you, the person who rolled it, or is
No.
it if they attack anyone?
If they attack anyone.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
I got you guys.
So basically, the guy you attacked, I believe, is engaged in combat with Aisden. So if he hits in his next turn, he can break Aisden's shield.
Okay.
Lovely.
Neato.
Yeah. So that was your attack. Muriel?
All right, I will also attack the same man after seeing this go down, and that doesn't hit.
Yeah, that doesn't hit. Remember, you have those 3d6s that you can spend during the combat.
I'm sorry, I have what?
Basically, before the combat, you rolled for battle, which gave you 3 additional d6s that you can add to your rolls during the combat.
Well,
It's
I
a
would
pool
love
of
to
3.
do that. That seems like a great thing
That's a
to
pool
do.
of 3 to be divided among yourselves. So each of you can take a dice from that. But would be great to have basically the approval from the others.
I'm cool with
could I
getting
use
rid
a
of these
D6, guys? Cool.
Sure.
I will try.
So that brings you to 17,
17.
and that's enough to hit.
And your D12 is a
13.
10.
So your damage of your
Oh,
bow
and hey,
is...
it's an edge. Yeah. My
Oh,
D12
and it's
is
an
10.
edge. So now, what's the injury rating of your weapon?
Let me scroll. One moment. Injury rating is 14.
So let's see if he beats it. No, he does not. He's out.
Oh,
Because he didn't beat your injury rating, which means he's wounded. And as I said, most enemies, if they get wounded, they are out. It doesn't only work on things that are very, very fucking big, because them you have to wound and drop their endurance to 0. Otherwise, they won't die. But yeah, the guy is out.
Gotcha.
So that was that round. Back to the beginning of the round. Ladies, do you stay in your current stance?
Are the
Yes.
enemies able to change who they target, or are they targeting the same person every single time?
They absolutely can, but they usually just engage people and stay with that engagement. Mostly due to mostly because, well, they are creatures of habit, kind of. But they can change who they are attacking him in mid-fight if they have another person that's a valid target in the same stance.
Okay.
this
I
is
was just
this
curious.
is wild, but
Because
I'm doing it.
basically, enemies each time will first attack people in the forward stance.
Yeah.
If there's nobody in forward stance, they will engage with open. If there's nobody left in the open, they will go to defensive. And if there is already 3 enemies engaging everyone in the defensive, then they will move to rearward.
Okay.
I'm going into
Zesty,
open.
But
what are you
hopefully you will
doing
know-
here?
I'm going into
Zesty,
open.
what the fuck? Okay. Some of is ready to throw down. Good to know. And Aizen Violin, you staying in open?
Yes.
Okay. So open stance. Who goes first?
May I?
Let me maybe put the guy in the middle, because I believe all 3 of you will be attacking the guy.
May I go first?
Sure, Steve.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to rally comrades.
Okay.
I'm going to roll my song to attempt to heal my teammates.
Okay, roll your song.
Because they might attack me, but my parry is actually pretty dang decent, so why not?
Yeah, I'm confused because I thought body would determine combat stuff, but it's actually wits, and my wits are
Body
terrible.
determines your weapons, but your parry is from your wits. 17. So you did succeed on your rally comrades. You have 2 endurance points to give to anyone from your friends.
Well, this person who just came up and warned us about whatever a bandit is, I assume these guys. She looks very hurt, so I would like to heal her up, please.
Okay.
Okay.
So Aizen, you gain 2 endurance.
So that makes my endurance equal to my total fatigue. What does that do?
No, that's still weary.
Okay.
Whenever your fatigue and your encumbrance are equal, that's still weary. You need 1 more
Okay.
to go out of weary.
But you could take off your helmet, and that would take off an endurance point.
Yeah, because
You
I
could take off-
still.
Yeah, that's a free action. You can just toss away your helmet at any point, and that regains you the endurance for well, not endurance, but kind of reduces your
Encumbrance.
fatigue.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think we remembered that you said that it doesn't help with the parry.
Yeah,
so-
I'm still confused as to what armor actually does, but carry on.
It's the edge
Yeah, you
thing.
will get. Yeah, it's the edge thing. So, well, if they would hit you with the edge on their weapon, you would be rolling on your armor to see if they will wound you or not.
That's how many dice you
Got
roll,
it.
and you get a plus
Yeah.
equal
Right.
to your
Your
head.
armor determines how many dice you roll for your for your protection test. It's called protection test. Okay, so that was Zesty. Who goes next? I believe Phelan.
Got it. All right.
That does not hit.
Okay.
But you're not that far away, so you might try to add the additional dice if everyone else will allow you, because you would gain the additional damage from your combat values.
I'm okay with it.
I agree.
Sure.
Okay.
Do it.
So I
just typed in / roll d6.
You just roll
just roll a
additional
d6. Okay.
Yep. That's 13. Close, but not quite there.
Darn. We
You're
tried.
1 point away.
Are you only able
well.
to use one of the d6s?
No. You can use additional one if that's all right with everyone. You can absolutely use the last one that's left.
I think
I mean,
it's
that's
better
like a
to get them
guaranteed hit.
down before they get to attack
Sure.
again and crack Aislin's shield.
No,
Oh,
but
no,
they
that
can't
one
die.
is-
They
that
can't
one
That
kill
one is
him.
already down. That one
I
is already
killed
down.
that guy.
I
I kill him.
have
but-
no idea what's
he's
being
done.
said because 3 people talked at
Yeah.
once.
That guy is already down.
Oh,
The one that was able to crack the shield.
okay. Then I don't know.
Muriel took him down.
We could take the L on this attack then. I think maybe. I don't know. Up to you guys.
I don't know.
It's fine. You can do it if you want.
Sure.
I
I'll
think
take
it'd be
the.
good to do it because you
the
only need
guaranteed
the
hit.
one more to get it, and that's guaranteed that it will be used.
And now you hit. So
Hooray.
add the damage of your weapon with your combat values damage.
5 and 4, 9.
Okay. So he's halfway down. And now Aizen.
All right,
Okay.
Ryder.
We'll
If you-
see. Nope.
Oh, holy shit. Okay,
I've rolled
so
a single success.
And you know what the problem with this is? It's now his attack. And if he hits, he can break a
Yep.
shield.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's gonna attack Phelan, I'm gonna say. Because he
Sure.
was previously attacking Phelan, so he's gonna stick to that. And now let's pray he doesn't fucking hit.
I think he might have.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah, he hit.
too. So, first off, that's gonna be the. Let me check on the damage for the guy. Because he also rolled a 6, so he also adds his attribute to that. So that's gonna be 10 damage.
Okay. Does that so all 10 comes out of the endurance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm
And also, do you have a shield?
yes, not anymore.
So it's not broken.
Thanks. Okay.
Good thing in Adoras there will be people who are able to fix it. And now Muriel.
I love how the DM immediately went to like, you can fix your shield. I feel like Zestari would be like, we could get you a new one. We'll just buy a new one. Like that's just what we do.
I've literally never owned a nude shield in my entire life. Okay.
You found this one lying somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or probably
Found it
was
in a
handed down
ditch.
to you. Or probably
Okay.
was handed down to you from your father, who got it from his father, who got it from his father,
Oh
etc.
God, it's your hereditary shield that got broken.
This is the only possession of my entire family. We're poor and live in the woods.
Your
You
last
you also
ancestors
have
have scratched their
the axe.
initials into the shield.
Okay, but now Muriel, your turn.
Okay.
All right.
That does not hit.
I missed.
Yeah. So new turn? Anyone want to change stances?
I'm gonna go into defensive and take off my hat because I am weary.
Okay.
Unless
So,
I'm the
yep.
only one in open, I think I'll stay in open and try to maybe get
Yeah,
some
I'm
people's
with you.
endurance back.
Okay, Aisden, you're staying in open or moving to defensive?
I'm not gonna leave her up here by herself.
Okay. So in that case, who goes first?
Maybe
Starry or Aisden?
NACAB, not all cops, because you seem like a good cop.
Get
MCAB, most cops.
question. The skill checks during combat, do those also count towards...
Yes, you also mark them down, yes.
All right.
You also mark them down in the groups.
Then, okay, let's get the... I could go Inspire and get another one, or I could go Song again and try and get a greater success. Honestly, greater success, because that would help us even more as well.
Yeah.
So you're getting Song. Bang, bang. Where is this? Why did the pop-up not happen? Nani?
No idea.
So there we
Did
go.
you click on the D12? Okay, so that actually is a great success.
Yes.
That actually is a great success. So that means you get some 3 endurance points to divide among people.
Just one will take
to
you
not
out
be
of weary, right?
Yeah, just one takes me out of weary.
Okay, so I'll give 1 to you and 2 to Kayla's character, Phelan, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love how I'm more confident about your characters' names at this point than I am about your own.
I can't read the cursive.
Yeah. I mean, I did the virtual background, so yeah, I know the names by now. Okay, so that was Zesty, and now Eisen.
Okay, I'm gonna. Eventually, I have to roll a success. I think. I assume that's how
Theoretically,
probability works.
statistically, it is probable.
This is it. This is when you hit with the edge.
Like,
Oh my god, she
there
hit
we
with the
go.
edge.
I did.
that
I got
an
an
edge?
edge. That's an
Yeah,
edge.
that's it.
Hell
So
yeah.
let's roll his protection.
Yay!
So what do I roll now?
And now he rolls for his armor to see if he will
Okay.
not get injured.
Okay.
And what's your injury rating?
My injury rating is a 16.
Yeah.
So. Way higher than a 7, that's for sure.
Yeah. Was about to say that.
I did look. I swear I built a combat-oriented
You'll
character.
pay for the seat, but you'll only use the
and
edge.
you just took the guy down. And you just took the guy down.
Stab.
Hell yeah.
And that takes us out of combat.
Okay.
So we're out of
I'm
combat.
gonna walk up to Aislin's character and be like, hello, thanks for your help there. Who are you exactly?
My name is Aislinn, and I'm a writer, a member of the Rohirrim. What are you doing? Are you traveling south? These roads can be very dangerous, obviously.
Oh, yes, we are actually headed to Rohan, so, yeah.
What?
Well, I can perhaps escort you. Is there someone you were trying to meet?
Not in particular. You see, my good friend Zesty here, she has never seen the world. And so
I met
we
like a week
thought
ago.
that it would be such a great thing to take her to go meet some people at Rohan.
Oh,
So you just read.
Sorry. To start off with, what is a bandit?
Oh, my love. Okay.
Because you said that bandits
I go
were
to check
coming
on
attack us.
Phelan since I know she took a hard hit. So they're talking, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna step over here and make sure that this person's not dying.
Okay, so basically now we can go into the part about recovering endurance, because there is a part about that. Because you regain some right after combat and then rest when you're resting.
Okay.
Just let me get that, because that's somewhere.
Cool. I'm still weary. I'd like to not be.
Okay, so basically, it's kind of assumed that after combat you will at least rest for half an hour before doing anything else. And in that moment, since none of you are wounded, you recover your basic heart score of endurance.
Oh, my heart sucks. Okay.
What can I tell you?
That's fine.
I recovered
Where
4, but I
is
didn't get.
Oh, I'm actually okay. By
Where
one.
where is
I just can't put my helmet
that?
back on.
So your basic heart score is where your attributes are above common skills, and the basic value of your heart is what you recover during the first half hour after combat. Unless you decide to do
put the
something
helmet
else.
on the pony.
Or on the horse.
I'm still. So your heart, you said?
Yes, your basic heart rating.
Oh, okay.
And that should take the weary people out of weary, because that helps usually a lot.
Yeah,
And then when you will be resting for the night, you will also recover additional 2 plus your basic heart rating.
Okay.
Because none of you are injured, none of you have wounds, and by the time you go to sleep, you will no longer be weary, I believe.
So, how are you able to tell, like, who's a bandit and who's, like, just a guy on the road?
The ones who attack you
Well,
are bandits.
Yeah.
I nod at Phelan. I'm like, this chick understands things.
But you knew that they were bandits before they attacked us.
Well, it was less knowing and more
It was profiling.
They were hiding and in wait for travelers.
Bow. And if they were nice people, then I wouldn't have had to use it.
I suppose that's true. I'm just glad that
And
none of
also,
us got.
Aizen, you have.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And Aizen, you also have that fantastic visual appearance of 2 of them being in browns and greens, and the third one looking like a fucking cotton candy.
I am just I'm not sure what's happening. I look a little bit confused, but
I don't think you've ever seen somebody on the road dressed in light blues and light pink.
I'm not entirely sure I've ever met an elf before, so
You may have probably
I've never
heard about them, Mostly
Yeah,
probably just
yeah.
heard
Like
about them.
I know they're elves, but I'm not sure that because
They have long ears. They must be elves.
I think she kind of like
they talk funny.
She kind of like takes Aislin's hand and just kind of does like a bit of a half-assed curtsy and says, sorry, we did not introduce ourselves. My name is Astari of Lorien. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. I like pat her hand awkwardly and then pull mine back.
I am Miriel of the Mirquad. Nice to meet you as well.
Well, I like look up from picking up my pieces of buckler off the side of the road.
Yeah, I'll assist you with that. Like I'm like, oh, you missed a spot.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well,
So your shield
that's
is now
okay.
puzzles.
Yeah, I reassure you that there are people that aid us that can fix it, as I've been told by the DM.
Here's my dad's buckler, but he didn't really do anything for me anyway, so, you know, whatever.
DM,
I'm Faye.
is it possible to make a craft check to try and repair the buckler?
Absolutely, go for it.
Oh no.
I have a decent craft.
I was gonna say you accidentally catch it on fire.
Hey,
It's
never
gonna
doubt
become glittery.
never doubt my ability to fuck up. Here we go.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there we go.
Actually, by some miracle, it's even more broken than it was.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Zesty.
I
Take
think
the
I actually
pieces
know
back.
how
Put
to,
them
and then,
in
like,
a
Because
container.
that roll,
pull out a leather.
because that roll was an Eye of Sauron. Again.
I pull out a leather pouch so that I start to put the splinters into. And I'm like,
I love how the dice have decided that this well-meaning little bean is just the worst. Just absolutely the worst. And she's like, I think I know how to, but she goes lefty-loosey instead of righty-tighty, and the whole thing just...
And it just explodes.
I will just
Okay.
Yes, so basically previously your shield was like a 10-piece puzzle, now it's like a 100-piece puzzle.
That's fun. Yeah, okay,
It's gonna
yeah.
be,
But anyway, I'm Faye from
I-
the Woodsman. I'm their guard.
well, they seems like a guard could be useful to have here.
Well, you know,
Like trying,
you can
she's like trying not to be insulting. Like she's picking her words very carefully. Like y'all need to, but what she's really saying is that like y'all need to be supervised.
Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
Yeah, like that's not what she doesn't say that, but she's trying real hard not to say
you know,
that.
you turn 116 and, you know, it's very annoying, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my 116th
did you
birthday party.
Want me to show you
It was at the
the
Springs.
way?
Oh, yes, that would be lovely.
What else?
All right. And I will get back on my horse that I definitely wasn't on for combat because we didn't stat it yet.
Would you like me to ask the trails if any more bandits have come by?
Sure, Zesty, that might be helpful.
You can do that.
And I'm guessing you're gonna take the bandits with you, probably tied up to deliver them to authorities in Adoras.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Sure.
I'll tie them together and then to my saddle. They can just run. Or whatever.
Yeah, I'll ask.
I mean, you're
We'll drive
probably
them.
not gonna be riding very fast because the other three are on foot.
Yeah, that's right. They have pack ponies. Yeah, so I will just head yeah. Sure.
I guess I'll ask the DM what skill you think that would be associated to. If I may ask the path, if other bandits have recently tread upon its grounds.
You're gonna ask the ground.
I am. Yes.
Basically.
I'm just watching this go down and I am so confused.
Just as an example to interpret the
I
words
know
of
for a
stones
fact I've
in a
never
path
seen magic.
requires a roll of
happen.
riddle.
Yeah, that would be about it, yeah.
Oh, good. That'll be just the D12 then. Because
I lean over to Phelan.
I have nothing in
and
riddle.
I say, "What is she doing?"
She talks to things.
Things.
Is she all right? She's
I-
not ill.
She's got a lot of money, so
I know, but I like kind of not. I'm like, okay, you know what? That's actually like, I suppose people with money can be eccentric. This answer makes sense to me.
And I just kind of get up from the ground and I'm like, they don't seem very talkative today.
Yeah, somehow the ground decided not to respond.
okay,
look at her
Zestari,
little
let's go.
I look at her little sandals and I like dismount and I say, would you like to ride so you don't hurt your feet?
I've never ridden a horse before. Is it okay with me doing that?
My horse gives us both a dirty look. And
Yeah.
but I reassure you that she's absolutely fine with it. And I give her a stern look too. So like you see me and the horse exchanging looks like we're going,
Yeah,
like,
the
no,
horse looks at you. You wanna sit that cotton candy on me, really?
I sort of like I like offer you a like a hand as a leg up because you don't seem to know how to use a stirrup.
Absolutely not.
So I'm just like, oh, yeah. So I kind of hoist you and I have to hold you on while the horse like does a little sidestep because she's not amused by this whole situation.
No, she's
Like
not.
I'll try and
like,
kind of calm the horse down and just say, thank you very much for allowing me passage on your back.
She kind of snorts and
Yep.
shakes her head, but she settles in and is willing to tolerate this. And I feel better because I'm wearing real boots and you don't look like you should be walking in those shoes. Those look like indoor shoes. And I will leave. But I am very
It's not
carefully.
that she wasn't walking through forest in those.
Yeah, but you know,
she lives in a forest.
Yeah.
Roads and rocks and stuff, and so I'm leading the horse, like holding on to her bridle. Though I'm not, because I don't let you have the reins or anything.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Basically,
She's just kind of like she's like doing one of these things with like hands in the air. Like I don't really know where to put this, but this is
my
cool.
horse is like nosing the side of my head, like almost like she's whispering to me, and we're having a whole conversation like in our heads.
yeah.
Because I can't actually talk to horses, but I can kind of talk to horses
So it's
because I
Kristoff
basically
and
grew up in a
Sven
stable.
and
'cause,
Frozen is what I'm gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's communication that happens because we were, when you sleep in the barn enough as a child, I assume. Yeah, that
Which
kind of
makes
thing.
sense because she might as well be Rapunzel. She's never left her fucking tower.
We have established our marching orders.
Yay!
Yes.
This way.
For before we finish for today, let's maybe go through your future coming into play roles in party.
Mhm.
So mostly for traveling. I believe you have that kind of established. So who is the guide?
It's I.
Guide is the person who should have the highest travel.
Yes.
So Muriel.
Yes. I have 3 travel.
Every travel, all the travel.
All the travel. I just studied really hard in school, and I just really studied the maps in my very good noble schooling. And so I know where I'm going.
Okay, and in that case, who is gonna be the scout?
Believe that was gonna be me.
That should be the highest explorer in the party.
My explorer.
I can't remember if it was the Star or Iceland.
Yeah, because I have a 2 on Explorer.
I have a 1, so
I have a 3, but I think I was supposed to be the hunter. Where I
yeah, I
also
think
have
I
a
was
3.
supposed to be the rear guard.
So yeah, I'm a rock me some scout.
Okay, so then the huntsman is failing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that leaves Isdin to be the lookout.
Yes, I have 2 awareness. So hopefully that's fine.
I mean, you will get it higher, so in time.
After one of us dies. Or all of us.
Maybe we don't die though.
Maybe we retire in Edoras.
Maybe I just travel to the Great West.
To the Great West.
Yeah. Y'all are just like, you know what? F this shit. I'm going to the Grey Havens. This Middle Earth stuff is too stressful. There are too many bandits.
So for traveling, do we have to roll all of our things that we do?
This will come to play in travel. But usually, basically, it will come to play. Your role will come to play if you run into a hazard. So if something doesn't go well on your travel checks. Yes, all of you will be rolling travel during traveling to see how tired you will get by traveling.
Oh dear.
Because you can get tired. But yeah, that's that. So now the things to do at the end of the game. So, first count up all the all the ticked boxes in the skill groups, and put the sum of it in your advancement points part of character sheet.
Was I supposed to be checking boxes during combat?
I think
if you rolled only if you rolled on a skill. So I believe in your case it was only the battle.
Got it.
We got battle. Like,
Okay, so where
Yeah,
do I
we will
put
do
that?
more rolling we will do more rolling of skills, of common skills in next game. No, don't worry about it. Today was just showing you the easiest part of it, which is the fastest.
So do we put our individual totals in, or do we put the sum of the party?
No. Advancement points are individual, so you put your individual sum of the advancement points in your advancement points box.
Even if you only got 1, you don't have to get 3 of the kind to get.
No. You count up the sum of all of the ticked boxes you gathered there at the end of the game. You put it in your advancement points box, and then you reset the ticked boxes, because you will be marking them down every game.
Okay.
And you start fresh every game.
Okay. So we have. So for me, I have 1 advancement point from my 1 vocation from the battle roll, and then I get rid of it.
Right.
The vocation point. Okay.
Yep. And then we go to experience points, and I need to freaking remind myself how that fucking worked.
What do we do with the advancement points?
So basically, when you reach fellowship phase, which will be at the end of the adventure. At the end of each adventure, you enter a fellowship phase where you rest up in some place for like few weeks, to kind of gather yourselves from the adventure. You will then be able to use the advancement points to raise your skills, your common skills, and the experience points, which I will give you in a second, you will use to raise your wisdom, valor, or weapon skills.
Got it.
So let me just find out how the fuck do I assign the experience points. I know I have that somewhere. Yes, here it is. Okay. Okay, so according to that, you get 2 experience points.
Yay!
Because one you get just for showing up. One you get just for showing up. And the second one you get if you have made substantial progress toward the achievement of your company's chosen objective, which today was meeting you all and getting together as a group. So that's 1 experience point. And then I am able to do additional 1 if you did something extremely amazing. But yeah, usually it's like 2 points per game.
And where do we put these?
And that just goes in the center experience box at the top right?
Basically, those you put in your experience points box. And you can basically choose which one you put it in, because one of them will be for your total experience points. So including the ones that you will spend when you raise your valor, wisdom, etc. in fellowship phase, and one is for the current amount. And the
There's
third one
3
is I have no
boxes.
fucking idea for what.
Okay, cool.
I don't know why they put the third one, but basically you should have. Basically, it's best if you put them in 2 boxes at this moment, because one is to sum up the total of the experience points, and the second one is for the current amount. Because if by any chance your characters die or get corrupted with shadow to the point of being non-playable, you will start a new character, and the amount of points you will get for creation will depend on how many total experience points you had on your previous character.
Okay, so we're putting 1 each in each of the Mickey ears?
No, 2.
Basically, choose 2 boxes on the experience thingy and put it in two of the boxes. Third one is I have no fucking clue for what.
So the top left is the total experience you've ever gained for the whole thing. And then the middle is experience points you have currently that are not spent. So right now they're the same number for us, but when we spend some, like if we gain, say we gain another 2 next session, then we'll have a 4, and then we spend them, we'll have a 4 and a 0, like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
or you
top
spend,
left number will
or if
always,
you spend 3, you will have 3. You will have 4 in the total and 1 in the current. Oh, and the third box might actually be for the
top.
Yeah, and I think that the third box might be for the points you already spent.
Oh.
So that you also remember that so that you also have a note of how many points you spent on your character sheet if you ever come to question where did you get things from.
Because I know that if you put 2 numbers in both Mickey ears, then the center Mickey head is the sum of them. Because it auto does that in the character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, so that would mean that 1 box is for the current points and the second one is for the spent points.
Yes, and then the middle is everything, is the sum.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yay, we figured it out, and I found a hidden Mickey.
Yay!
And since you didn't spend any hope, we will not have to go to going through the fellowship pool to assign the hope points, since nobody spent any yet. You will. And you will hit a point where you will lose more hope points than you are able to recover.
Yay!
That's something that will definitely happen.
It's a very depressing setting.
And it's a world that's trying to be mostly good, but Shadow went away for a while because it's gotten its ass beat to the ground, but now it's slowly rebuilding. And as they say in this world, the shadow doesn't create, shadow corrupts.
Fair enough.
Shadow is basically unable of creating anything, but it can corrupt to hell. Like seriously, Gollum used to be a hobbit.
Mm-hmm.
And hobbits are not that easily fucking corrupted. They are the hardest to corrupt. And that it happened. So yeah, that's, I think, gonna be it for today. And we will schedule another time for another episode. So we'll do that. And for now, I can finish the recording. So everyone, goodbye and see you at some other point.